Hi everyone, Adam here, and this is what I watched for July. Just an overview of either first time watches or things I saw at the cinema. Right, so let's begin. On the 4th of July, I watched Jurassic World Rebirth. Here's the synopsis. 5 years after the events of Jurassic World Dominion, covert operations expert Zora Bennett is contacted to lead a skilled team on a top secret to secure genetic material from the world's three most massive dinosaurs. When Azora's operation intersects with a civilian family whose boating expedition was capsized, they all find themselves stranded on an island where they come face to face with a sinister, shocking discovery that's been hidden from the world for decades. In a way, it's kind of like what you expected. Some characters were kind of annoying. Scarlett Johansson was pretty decent in her role. Um, as you'd expect, the special effects are like most Jurassic World Park, whatever movies, they always look um, really good. Yeah, you kind of know what to expect with Jurassic World / Jurassic Park movies these days. They try to do something a little bit different. Um, Add a new kind of dinosaur, or dinosaurs we haven't seen before. I always find it funny how in that world that people get bored with dinosaurs. That's, yeah, like in the zoo. Uh, but you know what? I didn't mind it. It's perfectly fine, to be honest. Uh, I mean, I still had fun with it. It was entertaining enough, to be honest. Uh, yeah, but I think maybe they should have just focused on one group of people because when they bring the family in, I think that kind of just felt unnecessary. I think it's a tradition to always have kids in um, Jurassic Park movies, and they never get eaten. On the 11th, I watched Superman. Here's a synopsis. Superman, a journalist in Metropolis, embarks on a journey to reconcile his Kryptonian heritage with his human upbringing as Clark Kent. Well, let's just say this has been one of the most divisive movies so far. I did enjoy it. Takes a different approach. I kind of like, I know some people don't like it, but I kind of like how the Superman has flaws and is not doing everything right. I know some people didn't like that because, but when you think about it, the person who's basically beating the crap out of him when they have the revelation, I won't spoil it, does make sense. I like the way it looked because it did look like one of the Warner Brothers animation movies, but just like a live action version. But I did like Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner, uh, who's part of the Green Lantern Corps. And I thought David Corin Sweat did a pretty decent job. Yeah, but I've seen both sides. I've seen some people who have absolutely loved it, some who have absolutely hated it. Whatever. I mean, you can like what you like, you can dislike what you like. I enjoyed it, to be honest. I thought it was a fun superhero movie, and looking forward to seeing where the DC, whatever they're calling it now, goes this time. On the 18th, I watched I Know What You Did Last Summer, the 2025 uh, sequel. Another one that's been getting a mixed response. Some have hated it, some have liked it. Um, but here's the synopsis anyway. You get the ending you deserve. When five friends inadvertently cause a deadly car accident, they cover up their involvement and make a pact to keep it a secret rather than face the consequences. A year later, their past comes back to haunt them, and they're forced to confront a horrifying truth. Someone knows what they did last summer, and it's hell bent on revenge. To be honest, I actually kind of enjoyed this. I mean, it's a sequel to a slasher film, which Look, I like the original. I really helped the original was a cast, and I think this cast does all right. Obviously, it follows a template of the original, and of course, with a movie like this, you've got to suspend a lot of disbelief. But you know what? I thought it was fine. I had fun with it. I know some people thought it was the worst thing ever, or thought it was the worst in the franchise, which means I haven't seen. I'll always know what you did last summer. Oh, that's terrible. You know what? It's perfectly fine. Yeah, it's not the worst in the franchise, to be honest. And yeah, it looks like they had plans for a sequel, but depending on how well this does, I don't know if they'll be going ahead with that. On the 25th of July, I watched Fantastic Four. First steps, here's a synopsis. Welcome to the family. Against a vibrant backdrop of 1960s inspired retro futuristic world, Marvel's first family is forced to balance their roles as heroes with the strength of their family bond, while defending Earth from a ravenous space god called Galactus and his herald Silver Surfer. Okay, this was one movie I was looking forward to. The Fantastic Four movies. I mean, the original ones from 2000s weren't too bad. They weren't great. The one from 2015, I think it was terrible. It was so serious, and I don't think Fantastic Four should be that serious. With this one, I was somewhat disappointed by it, to be honest. And there's some decent special effects, but I don't know. This movie, to me, just seemed to drag and didn't seem like there was a lot of action. I thought there would have been more. The cast worked well together, but I will say it's easily better than the last Fantastic Four movie. Yeah, but I found this to be a letdown. On the 27th, I watched Happy Gilmore 2. Here's a synopsis. Happy Gilmore returns. Happy Gilmore isn't done with golf, not by a long shot, since his retirement after his four tour championship wins. After his first tour championship win, Gilmore returns to finance his daughter's ballet classes. I enjoyed this. It not as good as the original, but it has its moments. Yeah, I mean it was good to see the character older, still somewhat angry. But yeah, had its moments, and always good to see Christopher McDonald was good as Shooter McGavin once again, and there's quite a few cameos in this as well. You know what? It's not great, but it's a turn your brain off and just I guess is the best way to describe it. Turn your brain off, and it's entertaining. Of course, I know not everybody's going to like it, but I didn't think it was that bad. On the 31st, I watched Together. This stars Dave Franco and Alison Brie. Here's the synopsis. With a move to the countryside already testing their limits of a couple's relationship, a supernatural encounter begins, an extreme transformation of their lives, and their flesh. This is a body horror movie about a couple who aren't having a great relationship. It is a strange one. I won't go too much into the plot. It's better if you don't know too much about it. I liked it. I will say it is a bit of a slow burn. There are some decent effects with the body horror, but it is so bonkers. It is probably one of the weirdest movies I've watched this year. But yeah, overall, it's a well made um, with some interesting effects, and of course the performances are are great. Yeah, there's a lot of chemistry between Dave Franco and Alison Brie, who most people know are married in real life. So I think that's what did make it work as well. yeah, so that's, yeah, together, it's pretty good. Okay, so that's everything I watched in July. Let us know, have you seen any of these? What did you think? Like, comment, subscribe. I'm Adam, and I'll see you again soon.